Hey guys, it's Ryan, and we're going to look at Project 5 in the tutorials today. So we're going to be covering some more practice with the logic statements, the if-then, as well as introducing the debug statement. So we're going to go to the IDE, new project, or name it Project 5, and graphical editor, keep it in free mode, and let's get started. So we're going to start off on the init page. I'm going to grab a pink variable for our integer. So change the data type to integer. We're going to do another counter and leave initial value as 0. And then over in the main page, we're actually going to start with our if-then statement again. So logic, if-then, back to logic, grab your comparison block, your equal block, and grab the pink puzzle piece, select counter, grab a number, and let's set it equal to 10. So we have right now, if counter is equal to 10, so that would be 10 seconds within the game. So if counter is equal to 10, then we'll do something. So now let's introduce debug. So debug is a very useful thing that lets you essentially print out something within the console or the text box that is in the simulation. So whatever is in the quotation marks will be printed in the text box or in the console. So let's try that. And let's go ahead and grab our counter block. So back to variables. That way it's incrementing. Select counter. Move that for a second. Go to math. Grab plus. Put that there. Grab another puzzle piece. Select counter. So remember, every second, counter equals counter plus 1, just counting up with the seconds. In the debug, let's have it print something whenever counter is equal to 10. So let's just have it print counter equal 10. And let's compile and run that. So click on compile and then simulate. We'll put it down to 45 seconds. And let's run it. So basically what this is going to do is that white text box in the simulation, now at 10 seconds, it should print counter equal 10. So it's going, it's going, it's going. 3, 4, not printing. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then look down here. Right at 10, it prints exactly what you typed, counter equals 10. So let's return to the code and keep going. So we're going to add another if-then statement. So back to logic, if-then, I'm going to put it right here and grab our equal block, grab counter block, select counter, grab the number, equal to 10, and this time we're going to have it say not equals. So like I said last time, you have equal, you have not equal, you have less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. So now we have if counter is not equal to 10, let's put in another debug statement. So whenever it is not equal to 10, we're just going to have it say not equal. So what this should do, I'm going to go ahead and compile and simulate, but what this should do is it's going to be every second that the time is not equal to 10, it's going to just say not equal. But then, excuse me, once we get to counter equals 10, we're going to have it say counter equals 10. So let's see how it works. So as you see, every second going not equal, not equal, not equal, not equal. But then once we hit 10, and now counter equals 10, and then it'll keep going. So every second until the program ends. So let's go ahead and end and move on. So now let's talk about how to print the value of a variable in your code. So say instead of having it say not equal every second, you want it to say count with the seconds. So have it print out 1, 2, 3, 4 with the seconds, or however you want to do it. And this is a very useful thing that can be used in all kinds of applications. So let's try it out. So take a look over at the slides. For your variable types, so for your data types, integer uses %d and float uses %f. basically whenever you write something with one of those and then put the variable, it'll put the value of the variable in your debug statement. So let's change this not equal one, and we're going to do counter equals %d, which is essentially just a placeholder for your variable. So %d, and then come out of the quotation marks, comma, and then your variable name, counter. So whatever is in the quotation marks, that's what's going to be printed in your console, in your text box. %d or %f if you had a float, but counter is an integer. So %d is a placeholder for the value of whatever variable is put here, and then put your variable name. So by putting %d counter, it's going to look at the value of counter and put the value of counter instead of %d. So let's try it. I'm going to go ahead and compile and simulate, and then we will see this working in action. Running, and we will view results. Here we go. So now you can see, instead of just the not equal, instead of %d, you see it's printing the value of counter every second. And then still, because of that first statement, when it hits counter equals 10, it's printing counter equals 10. So now this will go on for the whole thing. So this is printing the value of your variable wherever it says %d in your code. And we'll head back to the code. And that is it for this. So, see you next time.